actually happened more than once. One time I was in Altoona, my little beater tourist, man, and the tire was wobbling for some reason. It just started happening. Damn, Altoona cop pulled me over. And as soon as that happened, I called Jesse. He was at this party I was on my way to, and I was like, hey, bro, I just got pulled over. I don't have insurance, so I'm about to get a big dumbass ticket. I'm already mad about it. I'm gonna just turn this boat around and take my ass back home. And as I say this, the cop is pulling up to the car, and he hears me, and he says, you tell them you'll be there in just a few minutes. I didn't even say nothing to Jesse. I was like, oh, this is bad. This is bad. This is not how it's supposed to go. It's clearly a setup. But lo and behold, that cop was like, I saw your tire wobbling on your jankety ass car. And I'm worried. Well, you see the sign, maybe black probably in the way, but it does say recording in session.
Yeah, that part.
You see the fellas here on the couch, and you see Stephen got a beer. That could only mean this is yet another Quadcast motherfucking podcast.
Episode 80.
Welcome, folks.
Episode 80.
Caught up, huh?
I did the count. Episode 80, right? I did the count.
Wow.
Dropped episode 80. 79 when I did the count. And so we're on 80. That's crazy.
It's like, it's 80. You know what also is the 80th anniversary right now is Pearl Harbor. So,
oh, yeah.
Not to bring the mood down, but I just remember that
is true. Shout out to everybody that was affected in Pearl Harbor. That was a tragic thing that happened in Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? How they got devastated with the bombing and all that.
Our condolences.
Condolences to all the families. Shout out to all the survivors.
Mending relationships between governments around the world.
Yeah. Shout out to all the subscribers. Hit the notification gang, like button, all that.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Junkyard Gang. Make sure I subscribe to their channel. Noobs and Pros. Shout out BJ. That's the guy. Hope you're doing good, my man.
Right. I do want to do a quick reminder. Definitely, like you said, get over to Junkyard Gang. We're doing some holiday special episodes right now in the year plus December. So I'm going to tell you, last episode of the year, we're just getting into the deep truths and facts about Christmas. Okay?
I need an invite.
It's like Junkyard Gang does.
I need an invite on that one.
Maybe you might get one.
I need the invite on that one.
Yeah, either that or a lump of coal. It's one or the other. Oh Lordy.
Everybody doing good? Bruising
doing pretty good, sort of.
Weather's pretty decent today.
I'm still drinking,
so we ain't got no snow, so definitely chill.
It's December, no snow.
You know what's funny
but
about that?
But they say it's coming though.
I was out fishing last night. Stopped over at Jester Park first, and that shit's frozen. At least 10, 15 feet out. Only about a quarter inch or half an inch, but it's fucking frozen. I could not fish there last night. I had to go all the way over the big creek. So. Our fishing fans, please, if you're local, head on over to Big Creek or Sailorville. They go deep into that deep water. You can't really get along.
Get your Bear Grizzly on.
So
there you go.
And so winter is upon us, guys. That's all I want to say.
I mean, it is coming, but I mean, this isn't the first time where we've been in December and haven't had any snow. Like I remember we had a Christmas or two without no snow.
I think they predicted 70 degrees next week, something like that. It's pretty typical now for December, right?
Keep hope alive, but I didn't see it. But we'll keep hope alive.
I feel like when we were kids, around the end of October, like by Halloween, maybe within a week of, there would be at least one snow.
Not fucking kids. This was just like 6-7 years ago.
I don't know about that.
Halloween, it was snowing like a motherfucker.
I think I just realized the pattern.
What are you talking about?
I don't know about snow on Halloween.
You know what facts?
I used to take my kids out all the time. I don't know, brothers. I don't know.
That's why I was so pissed. Like, damn, we really got snow on Halloween.
But your son's only 7.
He's 8.
Bro. Well, okay, so you took him out at 1,
bro. You gonna forget his son age?
I'm asking you. Took him out at 1?
Bruh, I'm telling you, it snowed in October. I'm not crazy.
Of this year?
No, not this year.
He said, he said 7 years ago.
One of my most memorable.
So I'm asking. I'm trying to break down the timeline.
It snowed, bro.
I ain't saying that. I'm trying to break down the timeline.
The weather, man.
What's up? I'm better than them.
You crazy.
That's probably true, though. I mean, I just look outside and be like, they're lying. I can actually tell it's not raining right now. So, weirdly as it is, huh? Well, what else we got going on, gentlemen? In the world of news, if you watch news, I guess. I actually don't watch too much more news, at least traditional cable news these days. It just, They wore my ass out, especially right as COVID started jumping off the deep, and I was like, you know what, this is worse than fucking presidential elections. This shit is the coverage out of control. So I really toned it down.
I don't know what's worse, that or the damn insurrection, because that's on all the time. But you know.
So, but old Governor Cuomo of New York, he fell hard and swift.
Your friend.
Sexual harassment.
Don't they all?
And then his dumbass brother.
Shout out Chris Cuomo.
Oh, Chris Cuomo.
Don't get us flagged.
Goddamn Chris Cuomo. This idiot got caught trying to help his brother cover up the bullshit.
No
get
type
dirt
of
on the
tact to your
victims.
shit at all.
Nothing at all. Got messages that says, yo, delete this. This looks bad. You gotta delete this. You know, like, come on, man. Come on.
Turning motherfuckers.
And the whole time, you know, every chance he's got to apologize for being a shitbag, he's always like, well, it's my brother.
Exactly. Just saying it's my brother.
It's my
It's
brother.
like, okay.
To the code.
It's my brother.
So, like the whole time his brother, Andrew Cuomo, Chris was on CNN, he couldn't talk about his brother's investigation or like that. So that's why.
No. See, that's he could. He could have.
I'm talking about on the air.
No, he could have done that
That's
too.
That's not what he said.
That's what. Listen, that's the
refused to do
problem.
that.
That's the problem,
He
right?
refused
Because
to.
when his brother was being hailed as a hero in New York for handling COVID, even though
Let's talk about it
he
now.
was lying.
He was a he
even
held
though
as a
he was
hero for
lying, there
handling
were
COVID.
thousands of more people dying.
He got held as a hero for bitching about not getting the shit he needed. That's all he did.
And then he had a fucking book deal. I think he got nominated for something, you know, as a result of being some sort of hero, just to come find out he was a big old shitbag. But during all that shit happening, Chris Cuomo had Andrew on his show, giving him all the praise and playing dumbass, goofy ass games with each other.
That was before the
news.
shit hit the fan.
Exactly. But that's the point.
But what
That's
I'm
the
saying,
point. But when it did hit the fan,
so
when
you
he
mean to
did
tell
hit
me
the fan, he couldn't have his brother on to discuss
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a legitimate question. You don't think that all that shit going on about his brother and he having his own show on primetime, that the higher ups would allow him to talk about that? Because he could do one of two things. He could use his audience to try to put a message out there to protect his brother, or not talk about it at all because he don't want to put the wrong shit out there.
Bruh.
I'm telling you.
Bruh. And
that type of censorship happens.
What you're saying is what happened and
what he did
is wrong.
I'm not saying it was right or wrong.
Wrong thing.
I'm not saying it was right
So
or
that's
wrong.
what I'm saying is Chris Cuomo's a fucking shitbag because let me tell you, as a fat kid, you can't have the cake and eat it. You can't do it. It's one or the other. Because if you eat it, you ain't got the cake no more.
Well, yeah, off
This
air.
motherfucker ate his fucking cake.
Yeah,
as soon
off
as he
air,
had
he
his
was going
dumbass
crazy.
brother
You know what
giving
I'm
him
saying?
fucking praise for being a hero while lying about all the old people he was literally murdering, and then giving permission or signing off on any people who are being liable from all these old people dying in their nursing homes from across the state.
Let's keep it real. Let's make a quick point of reference. The Cuomos have had their hand or actually been running New York for decades. Their dad was the governor.
Mr. Cuomo was the fucking governor at one point.
That's
You know
what I'm
what's funny
saying.
about that? Andrew Cuomo never got along with his fucking dad.
Never.
They had a tumultuous relationship, but they're such shitbag people, they realize that power is everything. So he kept his son involved in politics and helped him get his little boost up.
They all
And then
got
like
law
shitbag
degrees and everything.
Andrew Cuomo he dedicated a bridge to his fucking father's name of public funds. Okay? Just to cement their legacy as shitbag people. Alright?
good synopsis right there. I liked that right there. That was good.
But you cannot write
That's good.
You can't write that. People would say, well, this is kind of
far-fetched
outside
right
the
there.
lines,
You reaching?
right?
They say you reaching?
And they'd be like, well, have you ever met Andrew Cuomo? oh
Yo,
shit, this is real?
The stuff that the
fucking
women
real?
was saying about how he would touch them and all this. Oh, I do that all the time. You see the video he
Bruh.
posted of him grabbing
That's
the
some Italian
man
shit.
and the woman kissing him, and I was like, yo,
Bruh,
that's
I
some
met plenty
core
of
billion
Italians in
shit,
my
bro.
day. Don't none of them put their hands on.
I met a nice amount of
cultural
Italians.
thing.
They ain't never approached me and gave me a kiss. They probably gave me a hug or some shit like that.
Nah,
But
it's
I
the
ain't
culture
never,
of
I ain't never got the
dickheads
kiss
and
of
scumbags.
death. I ain't never got a kiss of death. I ain't never got a kiss on the cheek. I never got inducted to the family.
So you know, in a weird way, even though CNN is still a fucking, you know, toxic waste dump with nothing productive coming out
So
of it.
is all of them.
They ironically did
They
a
fired
good
him.
thing too late, but they did it.
They fired him. They fired him.
So you know, it's not a silver lining. It's more like a.
They had no choice.
Have you ever looked inside of a chimney? They call it what they call Creole soot. It's like just a thin layer of Creole. It's not the heavy stuff you're worried about. It's just a thin layer.
G, do it
It's
for
a
me.
thin layer.
All this bullshit brought down who?
I can't. His name. Fuck out of here.
Come on,
What?
say his name.
Fucking Don Lemon.
Oh God,
This
right?
motherfucker.
Don Lemon.
The shit is.
Now that it brought down Don Lemon.
Come on now,
He
speaking
can't do
of
no wrong.
bruh, Don Lemon.
He did what?
This, bruh,
can't do no
you almost
wrong.
had me on the N-word today.
He can't do no wrong.
hey,
Come on,
watch your
Justice
mouth.
Smoulier done
Watch your
incriminated
I
mouth.
almost
man.
feel like that disrespects
Watch your mouth.
other.
Justice
You call
Smoulier.
Don Lemon it.
Jesse Smoulier done got exposed. He done exposed everybody. Jesse
Man.
Smoulier ain't no good.
Bruh.
He done got drugged and
Oh,
raped.
bruh.
He's something else.
Small.
Smoulier. Jesse Smoulier. Y'all something else. This brother's something else. He got drugged and took advantage of. Boy.
They done brought down
Wow.
Don Lemon, man. Like, I
Wow.
can't believe
Wait,
this
what are
shit.
you talking about, Jesse Small? Hey,
I
what?
thought we was talking about Don Lemon. How you gonna
Well,
just
he's brought up in that
First off, he
case.
got brought up in the case. This
Jesse
how this all got
Smollier
started.
says that Don Lemon texted him and told him that the cops didn't believe
Don't believe
him.
Oh, yeah,
that shit.
yeah,
That shit's
yeah,
a lie.
yeah, yeah,
What's it
yeah,
up, brother?
Which kind of
Yeah,
shows you
yeah.
just how deep news media connections go, especially between the rich, the famous, and the fucking authorities / the powerful, where Don Lemon is so plugged in that he knows what the police are thinking about the whole
Did
Jesse
he really know
Smollier
what the
case
police was thinking?
as it's
Did he
unfolding.
listen to that dumbass story he came on
Well,
saying,
listen,
this shit
anyone who
don't
listens to that
sound
dumbass
believable,
story was like, bro, you was getting Subway and a blizzard.
And they got a fucking
Bruh.
new son.
Ain't no Subway ain't never made a meatball sandwich that good. Subway
In
ain't
Chicago,
never had
in
a
Wintertown.
clubhouse.
Fuck out here in the
Oh,
blizzard.
so,
With
Fuck
fucking
out here.
sauce.
and
Fuck
then,
outta
and then
here.
these two Nigerians
Fuck
come out of
outta here,
nowhere.
Two swole ass Nigerians.
Because he said they was Trump supporters. They had MAGA hats. So these two Nigerians
Swole. Remember, they was swole.
with MAGA apparel
In a blizzard.
in a blizzard,
Blocks.
He got
Subway
away
for
from
the
this shit
Subway.
to be true.
late at night at
4
Subway,
o'clock in the morning, cuz.
and they decided to show their Trumpism.
My God, you didn't even try to lie. You didn't even try. You gave up lying the second you thought about the story.
Then your whole persona changes to where you're going around and saying you're the gay Tupac when you're doing shows to your audience.
And who
That's
needs-
what he said. That's
who
what he
needs
said.
the new
And hold
song
on,
in that?
wait a minute. We have no issue with the LGBTQ community. I just wanted to throw that out there as a disclaimer. Back to what you were saying.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this has absolutely nothing to do with his sexuality. You kidding? We didn't even bring it up. We just had to put the disclaimer in it. We didn't even fuck that. No, this is about being absolutely dumb and too rich and having too much access to things you shouldn't have too much access
Buddy,
to.
you
All
express
right?
yourself on the
All right,
stand.
that's really what it is. You know,
You expose
it's
yourself
about
on the stand.
separation of powers. It's about how
Bro.
trash our media is. Don Lemon just texted
And you put your
famous
boy
people.
out there like, oh, he knew about it too.
Right.
Oh, he
Right.
did.
Now, mind you, leading up to that, CNN was one of the leading
Exactly. That's what makes it
TV
even
channels
worse.
talking about how terrible it is.
This
for,
what makes the shit even worse.
Just to clarify, for the sake of the story, this is what CNN said.
That's
How
what makes this shit
gay
worse.
black men, how tumultuous it is for gay black men, and
Now,
that's not
Lemon
to
was the
discount
one that created the
your
storyline
experiences
and
and to
narrative.
say that it isn't. It absolutely is, but this motherfucker lied.
But he created a narrative
This
off
motherfucker
Justice
lied.
Smoulier. That's all I'm saying.
Look,
it
to
was
be
all
rich and
a lie.
famous, and to think I don't have enough attention or enough something.
I mean, you never know what these people's going through, man. But for me, to go to great lengths like that, I mean, bro, you're on one of the most watched shows there was at that
You
time.
just killed that.
I can't remember the name of it.
Your
What's the name
relevance
of
in
it?
the black
Empire.
community. What just talk about having representing a side of the black community that is important and why you even felt when you were attacked. Like you were doing everything right in regards
Why?
to
You didn't
that
have a
particular
need to
topic
do
of
that.
conversation.
You didn't have a need.
And then-
Why
You
would
have to take it up a
you?
notch.
Why would you approach two Nigerian brothers if you wanted to do some shit like this. Why wouldn't you go get the Caucasian brothers and really make this shit
right way?
and do it the right way?
Why are you doing this?
And listen,
what is the logic
and
behind it?
truth be told, he probably did. And the boy was like, "This don't make no sense." Something. Look, if you look at the weather, it's gonna be a blizzard next week. We can't do that.
Subway, where? Oh no, I'm not
Right.
Not at that hour. No.
So come on, man.
But no, I just
an
like
embarrassing moment for the black community.
definitely an
We could
embarrassing
just-
moment for the black community.
So thanks, Jess.
Jesse
thanks for that,
Smollett
cuz.
or Smollier, or whatever this brother's calling you.
Yeah.
I wonder if they
Or
gonna fire
Dave
Don Lemon
Chappelle.
ass too.
Thanks
huh?
to Don Lemon for being such an asshole as well.
What if he gonna get fired like they did Chris Cuo-No?
And in fact, he can't, because I think now he's their top
He trying
rated
to
show.
shoot
Even though I think he's barely
Lemon?
breaking a few million views every night that he's
Don
on the
Lemon
rock.
is
It was Chris Cuomo.
It was Chris.
It's gonna go down
And
now.
now
This
it's
shit
Don
just
Lemon.
happened.
Because I think
It's gonna
Michael
go down.
Smirkanish took over for Cuomo at his
I
spot.
don't even know who that is.
See,
That last name though says everything. Don't want to see it.
Yeah. Smirkanish.
We're good.
But Anderson Cooper comes on at 7, and then it was Cuomo at 8 and Don from 9 to 11. So Don's getting all that love. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
gonna lose it.
Let me tell you, you want some solid news. There's only one place I can go. I can tell you right now for sure, as far as visuals. If you need to watch something that is breaking points with Crystal and Sagar, all right, on YouTube
I
and
thought you
also
was
on
gonna say something like
podcast.
Black News
No,
Network
this
or
is
something.
this brother. I believe he's of some sort of Indian descent. I believe. You know, I'm just guessing some sort of Asian, South Asian, specific Asian. You know, I'm probably being wrong and racist at the moment, but Sagar, you know what I'm talking about, brother. And
Don't
then
flag
Crystal Ball, that is literally her last name, Crystal Ball.
Crystal Ball?
No, she used to be on MSNBC, but then she got woke to the light.
Shout out,
some years ago.
shout out
when it
Rachel
came around.
Maddox.
So I'm just saying, you want some good information, go there. Not CNN.
Not CNN, not Fox, not MSNBC, not none of these platforms, in my opinion, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Because they just perpetuating a whole bunch of bullshit. They get the stories that they want and spin the image how they want it, how they want to project it to the
Just
people.
to protect the rich and powerful.
Because Fox be going at CNN and CNN be going at Fox and MSNBC be going at the both of them, and it's all just
makes no
crazy.
sense. And at the end of the day, it's just one big club, you know, all out in DC. All these cats are just making news for themselves. And, you know, it's just Wall Street paying for most of those ads. So it's just a $1 million boys club,
It's
you know.
circling in circles.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it's the snake eating its tail, you know.
Yeah. Sad.
All right, well, what else we got today, gentlemen? What else is going on out there?
Didn't old girl start trial?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Fucking
shit.
Minnesota, the one that pulled out
Maxine,
the guns for the taser.
Maxine.
I'm really,
Damn,
I'm really
let me look at that real quick. We gonna
curious
get
to
this
see
right.
how this case turns out. I'm really, like I said before in the last episode when we was talking about these cases, I honestly don't feel she's gonna be charged with anything. Just because I feel like me per se, knowing how these fucking prosecutors and DAs play the game, they gonna play her history and how she was this validated officer and trained all these motherfuckers. They gonna find a way to be able to try and get her off.
But you don't think they're gonna use that against her too, because you are this so decorated officer.
I hope that's the case.
You did train all these people, so how could you? Because if you look at the video, she never had her hand on the taser.
She's always on the gun.
It was always on the gun.
Oh, wait, I thought you were talking about the what's his name?
No, we're talking about Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Not
Pedophile
Colorado.
lady.
No.
What's
not
his
that
name?
one.
What you talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell. That's
No,
what I'm
not
talking about.
that one.
not
Not that one.
Who you talking
This was the
He's talking about
shooting.
The cop who shot the brother in his own apartment.
No. This was the
Shit. What we talking
This
about?
was
There's
the
so
cop.
many terrorist white
Right.
ladies out
This
there
was
right
the
now. It's
cop.
kind of crazy.
The cop who shot the brother 10 minutes away from where they had the George Floyd trial at.
Yeah,
It was
Oh, you know, that's one of the ones I actually don't have much information.
It was a traffic
Yeah,
stop because he had they said he had like a light out or something, and then he had something hanging in his mirror. So they used that to pull him over. They ran him, found out he had a warrant, and he was about to get handcuffed. This is why I said last week when we
this
talked
is
about
with the
it.
taser.
And I and I said, buddy,
My bad.
shouldn't have tried to break away and run.
For sure. No way.
That doesn't result in you losing your life. But being black and you know what's going on, considering you in Minnesota, you should have never done that. But that doesn't negate the fact that she never had her hand on the taser. It was always on the gun. Then she also on video said after it happened, "Oh my God, I'm going to go to prison."
Right.
Like she
All
knows.
she was worried
she
about
knows.
was her getting in trouble for murdering someone on tape. That was it. Not at all concerned for the life.
Like she said, "Oh my God, I shot him. I'm going to go to prison." That.
So
and she was a safety training officer.
that's the part I'm talking about. Like
She
you train
definitely
all
should
these
know what the
officers
taser is. Right.
What this and this is, but yeah, you in a grave or a situation, and then you can't. It ain't even like it's a dire situation. This is just y'all saying he's running, but he ain't up no gun or nothing like that.
Yeah, because he was already searched. He had no weapons or anything on him. Because he was already in the car and he was in the handcuff position.
They quick to go to deadly
Cops are
force.
so worried about people who run away from them. Like I definitely
Is that automatically
if someone just
deadly force
just because you foots it? I definitely get.
So you
why,
flee, that gives you the right to go. That gives them the right to go to deadly force. I'm just wondering.
Right.
That shit just baffles my
when
mind.
someone runs, cops take it as such a personal offense to them being cops.
They think that because you run, that you undermining their authority.
Right. And it changes to a real personal situation all of a sudden, instead of just some idiot who just made a bad decision, right? And at worst, in most cases when someone runs, it's usually not like some violent shit. It's, some petty ass, I don't have a license, or, you trying to give me a ticket, maybe I got a little drugs.
Right, I got some drugs. I got some drugs.
Right, and they're just gonna run, and if you can, clearly see in most cases no weapon, they're not hurting someone. In most cases, a motherfucker get more than, 25 feet from you.
The fact that they had him out of the car,
motherfucker.
they had him out of the car and they searched him, had him in the handcuff position. The fact, he tried to run away, but that doesn't negate the fact that he tried to run away, get in the car, and drive off. So I mean, that still doesn't negate the fact or give her a reason to why she had to use her firearm that she's been trained.
But yet,
you know what I'm saying, and trained other people the difference.
Sadly,
between the two.
Another reason why we have to tell our sons and daughters,
it's crazy.
You better play it tight and you better play it right, because a stupid little goofball ass decision to even think about resisting could just get you fucking shot.
Let me share
Simple
something.
as that. There's no like second game. Well, cop don't know. There's just no. There's full stop. That's it. Don't do nothing wrong.
So my son's driving. He got his license. Got his own car and shit. Right. This is when he had his Impala. He drove to work. Coming home from work, he got pulled over by the police. Now, before that, I've always coached him up on what to do if he was to ever get pulled over by the police. You comply. You don't make no sudden movements. Ask for permission to do everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Clearly state your
I made it to where his registration and his insurance is above the visor, so he can just pull the visor down. He's not reaching in the glove compartments or anything like that, so they can try to say he's reaching for a gun or a weapon or something like that. Yeah. So he gets pulled over because his license plate's light without or whatever the case may be. So he said, after me coaching him up, that he did everything, and all he did was get like a little warning, change the license plate light that same night. Cause I was like, we ain't about to get worried about getting pulled over again. You know what I'm saying? When they got him a light and changed that shit the same day. But as a parent, I'm scared as hell for my son to get pulled over, because he's of age to where they look at him as an adult. You know what I'm saying? No matter, he's still a teenager per se, because he's not in his 20s or nothing like that.
Right. So
who knows what type of shit they might try to pull on him. And he ain't never been in no situation to where he has to deal with shit like that before. This is his first experience.
Right.
So I'd be scared as hell, man.
When was your first time you ever got pulled over by a cop?
Shit, it was here on some racist shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was driving probably like around like 10, 11 o'clock at night, me and the homie Nick, and we had just. No, I don't want to say it's the first time. I'm giving you a bad time. My first time was actually like around like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm on my way to the crib, and I get pulled over, and they tried to say I had a crack in my windshield. I'm like, well, how you notice I got a crack in my windshield at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and you were behind me? You know what I'm saying? So whatever, and then they just pulled me over, try to run me to see if I got any warrants or whatever the case may be. Typical racist shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't get any tickets or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
Don't find shit.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Just let you go.
Oh well, you know, and I didn't get a warrant for the supposed
that's
crack
how you
in the
know it's that
windshield.
bullshit when they just let you go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Whatever violation they said you had, like, oh well, you just forget about it, man.
So you know what I'm saying? That point that let me know right there, like, okay, I see what time it is. Let me make sure I'm on point, you know what I'm saying, to where I ain't got to worry about no crazy shit or whatever the case may be. Because I mean, I've never known for cases here in Iowa where police did some crazy shit. I just know of the one case where the brother died in their custody or some shit like that, and they tried to say it's because he swallowed drugs. And all the other stuff. I forgot that brother's name, but
he
and
played for
I
the
know.
Saints.
I know.
He got in Alabama jail just this past weekend.
What?
It's a football player.
I'm talking about what happened here, not that. This happened here. This happened here in the city some years ago.
Okay.
Not nothing recent. This probably like about like five years ago or something like that. This brother got picked up by the police for whatever the case may be, and then he died while in their custody. I don't know if he was in transition to going to jail or if he was actually in the cell. He might have been in the cell. If I don't have the story exactly, but he died while in police custody, no matter what. And they tried to say it's because he swallowed drugs. You know what I'm saying? And the popped or whatever, got in the system and whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But yeah, they marched on the police station and everything about this. You know what I'm saying?
Damn,
and this is the only case that I know of here in Des Moines, Iowa, where a brother, quote unquote, died in police
Scenario
custody,
like that,
in a
right.
scenario.
What about you, Black? What's the first time you ever got pulled over?
Shit, I'll say here.
Was we in the White Widow?
Nah, this is when I was like 30,
Well, that's the name of the box.
like 12 or 13. This is when I was riding with my homeboy.
No.
You say 13?
Driving when you're driving,
I'm driving.
not being a passenger.
Yeah,
you're driving.
If you get pulled over yourself.
Well, I guess I'll say the White Widow, and that was because that was an old school box Chevy, and Buick. My bad, I said that wrong. Box Buick.
It was
so
clean.
It was
though.
icy white, so
That was
the police
clean.
was here to even be staring, and you can't be driving that at night. But anyway,
Right.
I was in like a hot area, so they thought I was on some trafficking or drug type stuff. But you know what I'm saying, they pull you over. They'll tell you it's because of your tail light or whatever, but both of my lights been working since I bought the car, so I'm already knowing.
That's a fact.
What
What about the time when me and you got pulled over in the White Widow?
For just any type of reason. They'll say you speeding or whatever the case may be, and want to give you the whole 5th degree of where you going, where you coming from, all that. So, you know what I'm saying, it's obvious that they
They pulled us over
profile you.
right in front of my mom's house on the east side by Union Park. Like right in front of our house, yo. And the crazy thing about that, it had to have been summertime, because I remember I had on a wife beater.
It was something.
And he was the driver. But they made me get out the car. I'm the passenger.
Right.
They made me get out the car, start asking me questions and shit. Then they see my tattoos and shit, start asking me questions about my tattoos. I'm like, I'm the passenger. Y'all pulled the driver over. What am I doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, what are we doing? Like, that's the type of shit they be on, man. I remember the cop pulled up on one of the homies and had a notebook of names of people doing shit in the city.
Oh, I ain't get to that.
And asking motherfuckers like, do you know this person? And I'm like, what? That's
That's what y'all be
crazy.
getting told on, because motherfuckers was telling the heartbeat. They had to get put over for the littlest shit. He'll come with that notebook. Yeah, he did it, guys. He did it.
It was, that name. You know what I'm saying? mean, I shout out Brother Black.
Yeah, shout out Brother Black.
He just moves at his own pace.
You gotta call.
You got to call.
Well, shit. The first time I got pulled over, man, actually, it was a, generally speaking, a pleasant experience for getting pulled over.
Oh well.
I had just gotten my my first car.
Okay. Do you remember what kind of car it was?
It was, I believe, a '98 Lumina.
You got Illumina? on the alloy flicks?
The alloy, yeah, that's
Illumina flicks? Yeah.
That's right.
You was clean in the Illumina back then.
You know, the funny story about it is my mom gave me that car, but it was only because I needed a ride to work one day, and her boyfriend came into town. And she was real perplexed. What do I do? Do I go with my boyfriend or do I give the boy a ride? But now, mind you, I was a grown-ass man by then. I was like 19, actually. So I wasn't some little kid. But she looked me in the eyes and she asked me, do you know how to drive?
Yeah.
And I looked my mom dead in her eyes.
Say yes.
And I lied right to her. I said yes. And she threw me her car keys and was like, happy birthday.
You never drove till then?
And she drove away with her boyfriend, and I got in the car like, well, let's try this. And
you never drove
I
before?
never drove a car a day in my life.
At
19?
At 19, I had.
Man, me and him we used to catch the bus together to school.
Most I did, me and Dan McCain.
Shout out Dan McCain.
We would drive around at
I stole my
lunchtime,
pop's car like 13.
fucking around. And he'd work the gas and brakes, I'd work the steering wheel.
It was a two-man job.
I stole my pop's fucking truck at 13. Man,
That was the most, man. No,
Yo.
I didn't drive, but I had the concept down. I understood what driving was. I just had not done it. You know. Look, imagine a man who watched samurais his whole life, and now he got to pick up the sword. That was me.
Yo, I used to rent his Uncle Chris's little car, the little Toyota, whatever he had when y'all stayed on Chautauqua. I'm like 15, 16. I used to rent his car for the weekend for like 30, 40, 50 bucks. No license, no permit, no nothing. That's how I learned how to drive and do all that shit, though. Like, I used to go, me and the homies, this is before CD players was real big. We used to put the tape in and connect it to the portable CD player, you know what I'm saying? Riding around, doing dumb shit, you know what I'm saying? And then when my weekend was up, I had to turn it back in.
That's funny, bro.
But that was how I started learning how to drive here. That's how I got to learn how to move around the city and shit like that. So shout out Uncle Chris, you know what I'm saying?
So it was
I
no
appreciate
surprise
that.
I got pulled over in that Lumina so young. You know, I was a brand new driver
back then.
I actually went and got my license. I didn't even have my license for like another year. I got my license using my grandma's car. Like a year later, you know what I'm saying? So, but the Lumina, man, I had that and I got pulled over in it.
Yeah.
Luckily, by then I had my license. But the cop pulls me over and he says, in fact, I was doing like 80 down at 35. That was back when it was 2 lanes both ways. You remember that shit? That was like 900 lanes both ways and shit. And the cop, I saw the car behind me the whole time, but for some reason, I just didn't peg it as a cop.
Fuck it.
Eventually the lights
That's
hit.
how it was.
He pulls me over, right. And he was like, what are you doing?
They probably looking at it like, this motherfucker don't see me, he's gonna keep speeding.
That's how it was on the way back from Chicago.
I told him I just got my license, I don't have insurance, I just got this car, you know, just lying. I had the car like a year at that point.
Got it running down.
Yeah. And he was like, all right. So he just told me, you know, don't be speeding. I won't give you a ticket. Here's a warning. I won't give you a ticket for no insurance.
Did you still have the fro at this point?
I had the fro. In fact, I was going over to pick up Jesse in that. I'm sure we were going to go drink illegally somewhere. All right. I wasn't even 21 yet, right?
Junkyard.
Well, he was 21 actually. I'm sure he was buying his drinks. Just I'm sure I was just giving him money to buy mine.
Yeah, you trying to play it off.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
That's crazy. No, I ain't never got no good fellow warning like that.
Right, no, and that actually happened more than once. One time I was in Altoona, my little beater tourist, man, and the tire was wobbling for some reason, and it just started happening. Like a bitch, like whoop, 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 and just coincidentally a damn Altoona cop pulled me over. And as soon as that happened, I called Jesse. He was at this party I was on my way to, and I was like, hey, bro, I just got pulled over. I don't have insurance, so I'm about to get a big dumbass ticket. I'm already mad about it. I'm gonna just turn this boat around and take my ass back home. Night's over for me. And as I saying this, the cop is pulling up to the car, and he hears me, and he says, "You tell them you'll be there in just a few minutes." I didn't even say nothing to Jesse. I was like, click. Like, oh, this is bad. This is bad. This is not how it's supposed to go. It's clearly a setup. But lo and behold, that cop was like, "I saw your tire wobbling on your jankety ass car." And I'm worried. Motherfucker gave me another warning ticket. He knew where I was going. It's like 2 blocks from where he pulled me over. So he was like, "Take it there. If I see you driving around, I will impound the car." Took my ass over there. So I went over there, had a hell of a party, and then like the next morning we spent like 6 hours trying to figure out how to change a steering rod. Tire rod. Yeah.
Yo, Altoona ain't nothing to play with, bro, because...
Yeah, those are hard-ass cops out there.
Remember Whitewater University?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Pleasant Hill?
Altoona, Pleasant Hill, all that shit's the same. So
it is, right.
we in a 90 Wood Fleet Cadillac, long body, like 5-6 deep. My cousin's whip, you know what I'm saying?
He's got a gun!
The dash don't work. As far as like the lights, the gas meter, and all this other shit, right? So we on our way to this party out at Whitewater University. All I know is it's by McDonald's, because I don't really go out there that often. I just know it's by McDonald's or whatever.
Right.
So we lit, partying, whatever you want to call it, on our joy riding out here. Driving for a minute, and I'm like, damn, man, we should have been here by now. You know what I'm saying? They're like, "No, bro, keep driving. It's far out." And all this other shit. I'm like, all right, whatever. So finally, the car runs out of gas, and it runs out of gas, and I see Pella 45 miles. So I'm like, oh, we definitely went past Whitewater University. On some high shit, but that's neither here nor there. So what happens is, we even called TD, Tory, because it was his car, and like, "Bro, we ran out of gas, can you bring us some gas?" Whatever. So we waited on the gas. Car smells like a pound because we was blowing, whatever the case may be. Highway patrol comes. We like, okay, we gotta get some aid and assistance or whatever, because
So you thought
we were stranded. What could we be doing wrong stranded, right?
Right.
smell like a
Nah, that wasn't the case. Next thing you know, about 4 or 5 more state patrol come up, because about five or six of us in the car, so they can have one per
car per person for sure.
So they literally, they pulled me out of the car first. I was driving. I'm the licensed driver, or whatever. So they pulled me out, run my shit. I'm clean, whatever. I come back out. Everybody's out of the car. They tore my man's car the fuck up. Pulled the carpet. Pulled his center console, his heating, all that shit out. Checked the hood, checked the trunk, checked everything. I'm talking about they was in a flashlight with a flashlight around the side of the highway and shit, looking for like a joint, a blunt, or anything they could try to find to pin on us. They found nothing. They had us out there for like over an hour. They had us out there so long with the door and shit open. By the time they let us go, word to mother, they had to give us a jump.
Right.
The car wouldn't start. Word to mother. I promise you. Tori gave us the gas. We put the gas in the car, so we knew it had gas to start up, but wasn't no power clicking.
Right.
They had to give us a jump for us to go and get out of there. That's the type of shit that happens. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We were stranded, and they turned that into a drug bust. You know what I'm saying?
When they caught me driving with no license, I was driving a White Widow again. License suspended.
Yeah, those cars are
I
just
was getting off
maggots,
work,
bro.
and I'm dropping my homeboy off on my Damon, and I see him. I drop him off, and I don't care. I'm just like, I'm finna drop him off, and I hit it. Drop him off, and we're going right around the corner. He followed me all the way there. I'm saying, follow me in the driveway.
You got in the driveway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, of course he hit me because I ain't had no license, so they
In the
throw me
driveway,
in
though.
the
That's
car,
the
whatever,
killer
and
part.
put me in the cuffs. But Buddy, of course, trying to offer me to snitch on motherfuckers. Bring out this 3-ring binder.
Y'all think I be lying about
I
this,
got
bro?
that.
You think I
You
be
can
lying
tell
about
me
this
something,
notebook,
you
bro?
know,
That shit it's real.
You sat in this motherfucking driveway. This motherfucker sat in the driveway for damn near an hour. Trying to get me to tell them motherfuckers. Like,
I know. Yo, the notebook shit is real.
I don't know none of these motherfuckers. Can you just tell me about my way?
Subscribe to the channel.
Oh, lame.
But yeah, that was my story for y'all. I didn't want to just throw it out there at first. But yeah, they been trying to get motherfuckers. And I wonder why I be all these raids going on. There you go. There you
I
have
ain't
it.
never had the book.
There you have it.
Out on my
In your
Yeah.
driveway though, that's the killer part for me. They hit the lights on my man when he's turning in the driveway. Like, oh, he done made it home. Fuck that.
Oh no.
We gotta get him.
Oh no.
We waited too late.
Nah, he in the old school and it's clean too. Get his ass, y'all. He's got something in there.
The White Widow was clean, and I like the sounds that was in there. But yeah, that was crazy, bro. Like the shit that goes on here when you black, and that kind of goes into the shit that we was talking about, the black in Iowa shit. But we'll talk about that
But
later.
look, I got lucky a third time, guys. I just forgot about this, man.
Oh shit.
Now I do have one actual fucked up racist experience with cops in
Oh
Iowa.
shit. I got a couple of them.
Ironically, coincidentally, I should say, Jesse was with me. This is my guy, right? He was there for a lot of these cop experiences. If he wasn't in the car, he was on the phone. It was one or the other, right? But another lucky time was actually I was driving my dad's, I think it was a '76 Caprice with the moonroof. This bitch, the steering wheel was like butter. That motherfucker turned like a dreamboat. I love that car. Now the steering wheel leaked. I mean the windshield leaked when it rained, and the floor was missing on the driver's side. So you had to be careful fucking with the gas and rust pedal. Yeah, it was all rusted out. It was Pop's car. He wasn't gonna do shit about that. But I'm downtown fucking around, got fucking smashed, man. Again, I think I'm like 19. This is when I didn't drive the Taurus because it didn't work for a while, or I had to drive the Lumina because it didn't work for a while, so I drove my dad's Caprice with no license. And
Wrong move.
right, hey man, the law's the law, and I was 19.
Caprice, no license. That says pull me over.
Right. So here I am. I just dropped Jesse up, and my dumb ass sees a cop has pulled somebody over, and it just got me kind of just got me a little juice. It just kind of got me just kind of got me just a little hot, little bit.
Right.
And that yellow light popped, and it just made me just jump a little bit, and I hit that gas. Expected that yellow light. But what I did see, there was another cop who was there watching that light. As soon as I did, that cop pulled out behind me. Like, he hit the lights right away.
He did?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he caught up to me. But as he caught up to me, there was yet another cop with another car pulled over.
Oh, they was lurking. They was
So
trying to
he
get
actually
y'all.
slowed down. But I assume, trying to see if his little cop buddy needed some help to harass another fellow citizen or not.
Right.
So I took this opportunity, and I was, as E40 would say, I was bending fucking corners. So I was, I gotta lose this cop. Oh my God. Man, I hit about 5, 6 of these bitches, and out of nowhere, the lights just lit up. Boy, the lights lit me up. Like, oh my God.
He thought he was trying to shake him.
Right.
He's trying to shake his Jimmy. Let's get him.
Listen, everybody knows you can't shake a cop in a '76 Caprice. You can't do it. You can't. You might be able to outrun it on a highway if you had some sort of crazy engine modifications. That's it. No turns. Your
pops had a 76 Caprice.
It takes
have
a minute and a half to make a turn in a '76 Caprice. All right, everybody know that.
He had to have a 350 big block engine in there.
Now this Caprice had no working taillights. I had no rear view mirror, and the speedometer didn't work. I don't know what this motherfucker was pulling me over for. All right.
Had a range of motions.
Now, mind you, I didn't have a license. I also didn't have insurance.
Wait a minute, hold on, let me run this down real quick. No license,
Old school.
no insurance, old school, no tail lights, and
Actually be pulled over. It's not shot.
Pull my socks off.
And the speedometer didn't work.
Bruh.
Damn.
Bruh. What's that meme? Bruh. Right with that meme noise? Bruh. All right? So when the cop walks up to the door, I only found one option to work. One option.
What's that?
I said, officer. And mind you, I'm drunk. I'm fucking wasted. I said to the cop, officer, I don't have a license. I don't have insurance. I realized my taillight's out, and yes, the mirror's missing. And he was like, oh God. All right. So I gave him my ID. It was a non-driver's license ID. And he goes away. He goes back to his car. Yeah, like,
pulled your ass out.
I should just shoot you now, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, sir.
Oh my God.
It's terrible citizenry happening everywhere.
Yeah, you're a poor citizen.
About 5-10 minutes go by, he comes back. Oh no, I told him it was my father's car. I forgot I ended it with, this is my father's car. He came back,
Trying to pass the blame as
handed me my non-driver's license and said,
Get the fuck
get
out
home.
of
Get home. I started that car and drove the fuck
That was
over
his
right
light
home.
skinness that one of
Bruh.
them. About 3 shades darker.
Bruh.
Get on the ground now!
I mean, I had to
Fuck
reek
outta
of
here.
alcohol. It had to be pouring out of me. Honestly, that cop was probably worse than a racist cop in that moment in time. I was a fucking danger to the city and to myself. And the cop said to me, you get home.
Keep
You
it
take
going.
this car and you get the hell out of here. Now, mind you, I got home. Trust me, I got home. All right. As I stand here today.
You probably wasn't talking. You know that I pulled this asshole over. He had no license,
Right.
no insurance.
And I said, fuck the paperwork.
He said, I only pulled him over because I want to look at the car. He said, 6 degrees.
Got up to it and I see he ain't got no floorboards and shit. I said, oh,
Ah,
man.
man.
Dumb ass home.
He damn near on the flare Flintstone.
How
About
old
to
he
put
got
the
now,
on to
Rick?
stop that bitch.
Hell
So-
nah.
So he had another, you know, and granted, I have had my terrible experience with the cop, and more than one, but those moments where, dare I say, it counted for whatever fucking reason, I got lucky, man.
Yeah, I
fucking
mean,
lucky.
I wish I could say that on my end, but you know.
I feel you, brother. I feel you, and I've done with the bullshit too, and I've seen plenty of people. The worst thing I ever seen a cop do in person, at least, is down at old AM. If you don't remember that,
Yeah, Club AM.
Static used to be a
bullshit.
club called Tri-Point, and it was huge. It was twice as big. They cut that bitch in half, created Static, and then eventually they put in Club AM on the other side.
Okay.
Right. So it was the after hour spot. But there was this brother in there, I think it was some Native American cat. It looked real big and looked real proud to be a Native American cat. Looked hardcore, maybe the biker type or some
Okay.
street to some effect, right?
Okay.
I was respecting his shit. You know, the vibe he was putting out. He walks by
Real
a
Hell's
cop
Angels.
and he nudges the cop a little bit. I do believe it was a pure accident, even though he was hard and stiff when he did it. I do think it was just pure coincidence. He just actually happened to touch that cop, and that cop turned around and said, "Hey!" But the club was fucking just banging out noise. That guy didn't hear no shit. Plus, he wasn't trying to hear no shit. Wasn't nobody yelling "hey" at that guy.
Right.
The cop yells it again like, "Hey!" He says something else, and the guy just keeps walking. This cop fucking grabs a guy and just pulls him backwards right to the ground. Head hits the ground, immediately splits. Fucking blood is pouring out on the ground. The cop rolls him over, puts cuffs on him, and just has a knee on his back while this dude's bleeding from his fucking head and barely conscious. The hardest shit I ever seen a fucking cop do. And just such pure fucking evil. Just, and no care in the world about it.
You ain't seen
He was
shit.
intent about getting that motherfucker in the back of a paddy wagon because he disrespected him with that bump and didn't listen to him in this loud ass environment.
What did we talk about before? They do shit when they feel like they've been disrespected. Motherfuckers
Take it to the next
buddy try to
level.
run, and you know what I'm saying, or whatever you feel like you try to run, like Brother Black was talking about, does that result in you losing your life?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But it sure can. Sadly, sad as it is. Sad as it is.
They take that shit just too far. You know what I'm saying? Like abuse of power is not even the right term for it. To be honest. It's like beyond abuse of power. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why one of the things that I seen that they was talking about as far as like police reform was like really doing extensive background checks on these guys, having them going through
Any
like
fucking
therapy.
nutcases they
You know what I'm saying?
fucking
Shit
sell.
like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
See what they've been
Fucking
to.
a cop.
It's
Fuck
like-
out of here.
Right. I mean, you should just be.
The
you
term
should
cop
have
is
to have
actually
a
citizen
high
of control. That's
IQ,
crazy.
Maybe a couple of degrees of shit. You may psychology and you know.
Yeah, you got a major.
some sort of art degree too. You know,
You got a major
something
in,
that shows your depth, that creates that type of depth to your character
Yeah.
that's needed to deal with your average fucking person. You know,
You gotta have a degree in sociology, psychology, and criminal justice or something like criminal justice for one, for sure. The other two, you gotta pick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think you gotta have, because you can't. There's no way you can just graduate 18, 19, just go to the academy without
Our
any
cops
kind of
gotta be,
credentials.
you know,
what I'm
started
saying?
young and groomed from the community from which they came. You know what I mean? And otherwise, it's just this disconnect where you're giving unchecked authority against people you have no fucking connection to.
None.
And you just create this fucking tornado of devastation and murder, essentially, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I think that needed to be said. I think all this needed to be talked about. I think it's a good way to go ahead and close out.
Right, listen, if you want to become a cop, I suggest you do it. But only if you're doing it because you actually want to help someone. Not because it's a job, not because you can get paid, not because you want some sort of respect or authority or the lord over somebody, but only because you want to help someone, and the money don't matter. And if that's
Cops don't get paid
Of course, money don't matter. They
Exactly.
don't get paid shit.
Yeah, but a lot of cops sacrifice that pay for that type of power.
Exactly.
So, you know, you say what you want to say about how low cops are paid, and I agree. Cops are not paid enough, generally speaking. But it don't mean you get to decide how to, you know, make up for that.
I was about to say not paid enough to kill us.
Right. I mean, if anything, right, you're definitely not paid enough money to kill people. That is a very good way to look at it, Black. Sadly, or sad as it is, I should say. I keep saying sadly. But, I mean, right, you're not paid enough. You're not paid enough for the type of devastation you can inflict on a community, you know, with that type of immunity that being a cop comes with.
So on that note, Center Squad Cast Podcast, Mother.
Shout out to Des Moines PD. Don't pull us over, y'all.
Get up, get down. 911's a joke in your town.